Civil War movies have always pulled us into the soul of America, a battlefield of blood, honor, and identity that refuses to be forgotten. But are these films just relics of the past? Or can they help us understand the very core of who we are today? The stories in these movies are soaked in sacrifice and packed with legends. So if you think you've seen powerful cinema, think again. Today, CinemaShares brings you the 10 greatest Civil War movies ever made. Are you ready to ride through history? Buckle up, let's go. Number 10, The Beguiled? Directed by the brilliant Sofia Coppola, this Southern Gothic thriller sets us in a remote Virginia girls' school, where a wounded Union soldier shows up, sparking tension, jealousy, and a slow-burning power struggle. The atmosphere is thick with suspicion, and the power dynamics between the characters slowly unravel in gripping fashion. Nicole Kidman, Kirsten Dunst, and Colin Farrell bring the heat, with layered performances that will keep you on edge. It was released in the year 2017, and it had got the IMDb score of 6.3.
Give me the key.
You know I'd get in trouble for that.
Number 9, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Sure, it's a Western, but it's set right in the thick of the Civil War. Sergio Leone delivers a raw look at chaos and greed as 3 gunslingers chase Confederate gold while war rages on around them. This isn't just about treasure. It's about what greed does to men in the midst of total collapse. That Ennio Morricone's score, legendary. The battles are vast and gritty, showing how war consumes everyone it touches. It was released in the year 1966, and it got in the IMDb score of 8.8. Number 8, The Outlaw Josie Wales. Clint Eastwood directs and stars as a Missouri farmer whose family is murdered by Union soldiers. He becomes an outlaw, torn apart by grief and war, seeking peace in a lawless land. It's raw, emotional, and packed with heart. A revenge story where humanity slowly finds its way back in. The character development here is unforgettable, and Eastwood's performance carries the emotional weight beautifully. The journey across ravaged lands is as spiritual as it is physical. It was released in the year 1976, and it got the IMDb score of 7.8. If you love gritty anti-heroes and frontier justice wrapped in American tragedy, CinemaShares highly recommend you to give a watch to The Outlaw Josie Wales.
Whenever I get to liking someone, they ain't around long.
When you get to disliking someone, they ain't around for long either.
Number 7, Ride with the Devil. Ang Lee takes us into the bushwhacker warfare of Missouri, telling a gritty story of young fighters caught in a gray zone of loyalty and violence. This film is slept on, but it hits different. With emotionally complex characters and brutal guerrilla tactics, it gives us a window into a version of the war that doesn't get told often. It blends youthful recklessness with historical tension, making it deeply human and hard to forget. It was released in the year 1999, and it had got the IMDb score of 6.7.
You fight for everything that we ever had. It's just that we don't have it anymore.
An immigrant son.
I was raised here. These are my people.
Number 6, The Red Badge of Courage. Based on the Stephen Crane novel, this one dives deep into the mind of a young Union soldier, battling fear and doubt before discovering what bravery really means. Directed by John Huston, it's a quiet yet powerful look at personal courage. It captures the internal chaos of war more than the external, letting us live inside the soldier's fear and redemption. The psychological toll is portrayed with haunting subtlety. It was released in the year 1951, and it had got the IMDb score of 6.8.
Yesterday when things started getting hot, I was mighty scared.
We all was.
Yeah. But I lit out.
You mean you ran away, Henry?
Number 5, Gone with the Wind, an absolute classic of Hollywood. Love, war, and survival all played in epic scale. While it's controversial today for its romanticized view of the South, there's no denying the cinematic craft here is next level. The story of Scarlett O'Hara is one of resilience, obsession, and transformation during and after the war. Lavish sets, iconic lines, and unforgettable characters make this one for the history books. It was released in the year 1939, and it had got the IMDb score of 8.2. If you're into sweeping romance, old-school drama, and timeless cinematography, Cinemashers highly recommends you to give a watch to Gone with the Wind.
I love you more than I've ever loved any woman. And I've waited longer for you than I've ever waited for any woman.
Let me alone!
Kiss me once.
Number 4, Cold Mountain. This one follows a Confederate deserter, played by Jude Law, as he journeys back to the love of his life, Nicole Kidman. It's tender, haunting, and shows what war does to hearts, homes, and humanity. The film is both brutal and beautiful, showing not just the physical journey home, but the emotional toll that war takes on both soldier and lover. Renee Zellweger adds an unforgettable performance that brings grit and soul to the home front. It was released in the year 2003, and it got the IMDb score of 7.2.
They call this war a cloud over the land, but they made the weather, and then they stand in the rain and say, it's raining!
Number 3, Lincoln Daniel Day-Lewis is Abraham Lincoln. End of story. Spielberg shows us the battle to end slavery through political maneuvering, raw leadership, and humanity. This is history told with passion and weight. Every scene is like watching legislation turn into legend. The supporting cast is equally stunning, making it feel like you're truly in the smoke-filled rooms where America was redefined. It was released in the year 2012, and it had got the IMDb score of 7.3.
This settles the fate for all coming time, not only of the millions now in bondage, but of unborn millions to come. Shall we stop this bleeding?
Number 2, Gettysburg. This one's an absolute monster, 4.5 hours of battlefield brilliance. Adapted from The Killer Angels, it's strategy, courage, and heartbreak rolled into one film. Sheen and Daniels are on fire. From Pickett's Charge to The Little Round Top Stand, this is military filmmaking at its most faithful. The uniforms, tactics, and emotion are so precise, it feels like a living museum. It was released in the year 1993, and it had got the IMDb score of 7.6.
Faith made them soldiers. War made them brothers. Courage made them heroes.
And finally, we are at the number 1, Glory. The story of the 54th Massachusetts Infantry will shake you. This was one of the first Black regiments in the Union Army, and their journey is one of courage, sacrifice, and history being made. Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Matthew Broderick, unforgettable. From brutal training camps to the ultimate battlefield sacrifice, it's a story that punches your heart and lifts your soul. The film's intensity and humanity make it a true emotional powerhouse. It was released in the year 1989, and it got the IMDb score of 7.8. Okay, so the Civil War wasn't just uniforms and battlefields. It was identity, justice, and the struggle for what America would become. These films don't just entertain. They teach, they move, and they stay with you. With that being said, we'd like to wrap up this video. Let us know your favorite Civil War movie in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe for more history-packed cinema deep dives. Till next time, stay sharp.